I'm back with part 2 of my ribbon rosette tutorial. That's what I call them, ribbon rosettes. I'm going to use a yellow ribbon for the next layer. I have just enough of the regular of my lace trim, I think, to do the layering that I want to do with it. With this, I meant to say this in the first video. With these particular rosettes, I find that using what size is this? I don't even know how wide this is, but this is, you know, I think it said 7/8. Let me see. Well, I'll use this. I can't find my ruler. It's up here somewhere. But I don't, like I said, I don't take it off the spool, so there is no, you know, exact measurements for the circumference of this. So, you know, I leave it on there because, you know, that way I can just keep pulling the this is about an inch width. This is an inch. I find that using anything, and it doesn't have the wire. I don't think the wire would work real good. Wire ribbon would work real good with this. I haven't tried, but I find it easier to use the flexible ribbon. That way I can kind of bend it, incorporate it my way. But this size, and then I'll use this one, it's a little darker. And this size works pretty good too. This one is actually, I don't know, I don't think that is this one. It might be. It looks like it. So, but this ribbon right here, where did it go? I'm so unorganized. Oh, here it is. This size ribbon right here, this does not do well to make these because it's not wide enough. I have tried. Maybe if I was making little itty bitty ones, it might work. But I usually only use these when I'm making my tassels out of these. But, okay. Now on the next one, on the next layer, I'm going to take my ribbon. Of course, after you cut it, everybody knows to burn the ends of it so it don't fray. I just take my ribbon, just like this. I find my top area, which is right here where I cut it, and I kind of bring it halfway down the ribbon, like half of it. As you can see, it's halfway up. I'm hoping y'all can see this. I'll turn it around. It's halfway up the trim and halfway on the paper. Now, with this one, you're not going to put any more glue on your lace. You want it all on the paper and the ribbon you're using itself. So you're going to start this one basically the same way you started your lace. I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm going to dollop my glue right underneath where I started the first round, just like that. Then I'm going to take my ribbon and just eyeball it, plop it into place. You will find I do find sometimes that using, oh, I've got it flipped backwards. And it's what's good about using hot glue. Oh, I'm flipping ribbon everywhere. Is if I mess up, I can just pull it off, cut it. I want to cut it a little more straight than that. And then, well, where did it go? Oh, I guess it don't matter. This end won't matter about, you know, putting it in its place. So I'm going to put my glue. Get my end. I want the shiny end of this satin-y type ribbon. I'm going to plop it down just like so. And I find too that working with the ribbon. Now the ribbon, I'm going to tell you, because you know it's straight, it doesn't have the curve like the lace trim did. You're going to have to manipulate a little bit. like this right here, I kind of glued it kind of crooked, but I can kind of work with that. I'm going to take my glue, go hold it up, and I'm going to dollop it again, just like I did before, just a little bit over, as you can see. And then I'm going to fold my ribbon kind of like that. Just pleat it just like that. Now, this is where I was saying you will have to manipulate it till it gets going. Then you'll start to notice that it will start gradually going into a circle. As you can see, already it's wanting to go in that direction. And sometimes with the ribbon, I notice that it wants to lift, and sometimes I may have to glue like inside the pleat of the ribbon if it doesn't want to stay down. I glued it down just like that. See this, I'm hoping I'm explaining this. This right here is not perfect fold like these are, but this one is going to kind of make a, and when you'll see, it'll look like petals as you go around. And make sure that you always have your ribbon in position to pleat. Add your glue. I kind of make it look like a little teardrop type style, and then you'll pleat again. Now, you'll notice too that it'll start lining up with your pleats on the top. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. And you know, if it don't, that to me sometimes just gives it more character of the flower, because you know, let's be realistic, each flower looks different no matter what kind of flower batch you're looking at. You could be looking at the same type of flowers in a batch, but each flower is going to have its own unique style and its own unique look. Again, dollop your glue right next to the pleat that you just made. Oh, this thing don't want to stay up. I need to get me a new glue gun. I want a better glue gun. Again, I'm going to position my ribbon straight so that it will not, really it's to keep it out of the way and keep from getting glue all over it. Then I'm going to dollop again and pleat. And like I said, you may have to manipulate your ribbon. It's, you know, sometimes it can be, it's kind of catty corner. If you can look at my pleats, they're not perfect up and down. They're kind of going at an angle to help it go into that circular motion, if you can see. Again, put my dollop of glue on the underside of the ribbon, fold it down, straighten out my ribbon, add my glue again to the top onto part of the paper, and glue. And you'll notice, I notice working with the ribbon is easier sometimes than working with lace. For one, I've done burnt the crap out of my thumb from working with lace, but I love lace. I love messing with it. That's crazy, I know. But making the lace ones to me sometimes are a little harder than making the ribbon one. But that's just me and my thoughts. Again, I'm going to lift it up like that. Dollop the glue. Straighten my ribbon out. Push it down. Make sure my ribbon is in position. I always want it to go kind of straight across, like so, onto the, I'm trying to think of what to say. Trying to put it straight across, and I always have the pleat going directly horizontal in front of me, that, or you know, where the area that I'm working at that time. I'm turning it this way. As I'm pleating, I'm turning my thing counterclockwise. So again, I'm going to dollop my glue just like this, pull it down a little bit onto the paper. And like I said, what's cool about this is once you get it done, you don't see any signs of the glue, because by the time I'm done, I usually have all the glue strings pulled off of it, and I'm usually pulling them off as I'm working. And then again, I'm going to pull this back, dollop, position my ribbon again, push it down. And like I said, you don't want to put any glue. Ooh, I'm out of frame. You don't want to put any glue onto the lace, because you want this to kind of look like it's lifted a little bit. And so then I'm going to teardrop my glue again. And then I'm going to pleat. And I'm pleating, like I said, at an angle, and it'll help it stay going into that circular motion. Like I said, it's really, I learned how to do this by trial and error. You know, my first ones didn't look all that great, but they were pretty. And then the more I worked and more I did it, the more I practiced at it, the better it got. And the better it became and the easier it became, and I can fly right through them pretty quick. Depends on how fast I want to work, how fast I want to get this, you know, flower made or something like that. But usually when I'm doing these, it's because I just want to craft. And so, and you can see too, you'll notice too, I keep getting out of frame, guys, and I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm new at this tutorial thing. As you can see here, it's starting to make the circle in the middle. And then you'll take, I want to make sure my ribbon stays up and covers, because I'll notice sometimes like the ribbon will start positioning itself, and so I'll have to toy with it a little bit. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Dollop my glue, and if you notice that it's starting to lower, then you can kind of position the ribbon back up in the position like so, because you want this part of your flower to be covered at least. And then you dollop your glue onto the next one, and then you come up and you fold just like so. Ow, burned myself again. And like I said, it doesn't matter if your glue is messy right here, it will not be seen when you're done with it. Alright, position my ribbon back in place here. It's not wanting to work for me, it's making me mad. Alright, say like this right here is a messed up one, so I'll pull it off. That's the good thing about working with hot glue, is it'll pull apart pretty easy. I'll reposition it. I'll re-glue it like so. And sometimes I have to force it into going into that circular motion. Like right now, it's not wanting to position right, so I'm having to toy with this part to get it to lay down right. And I may have to sometimes go back through and dollop just little glues in between some of these pleats right here, because they'll want to lift. And sometimes you want it to lift, but not lift too much. Alright, lift it up like so. Dollop your glue. Position your ribbon to make sure that bottom part of the first layer is covered up. And then you'll put your other dollop on top of the ribbon and the paper and pleat. Simple as that. It's easy peasy. Just like that. And you can see, and you'll notice, you know, it'll get easier as you begin to make, and I get glue all over my fingers when I'm doing this, which is why I need to get me some silicone finger cover thingies, because it's blisters my finger. Lift this up. Now you'll see, like this right here, because I put a little extra glue, it's already kind of glued down. And if that happens, then you can just go ahead and dollop your glue onto the next one and pleat. and you don't have to worry about gluing underneath. I just do that for extra security to make it more secure. But I love making these things. It's great to do when you're just sitting around, you don't know what to make. You know what? You can never have enough rosettes, embellishments. I have, you know, tons of them. And I use buttons. I use stickers. I've used all kinds of stuff as the little middle piece. Especially like the gem stickers, the big ones you can get like at Walmart. Alright, dollop your glue just like so. Fold your ribbon to the side like that. And usually you can tell, I'm going to hold this up, by the position of the angle that you feel. See how that angle looks right there? You know you have it in the right position if that's the way it looks. Dollop again. I wanted this to be kind of a step-by-step because I am not good with tutorials and I am not good at doing all that editing stuff, so y'all gonna have to just deal with my big mouth talking. And like I said, I position it as long as my ribbon looks like it's going straight across just like that, I'm good. Glue all over my fingers. And lift. Alright. Glue. Push it down. Just like so. And I'm going to finish this, get to the end of this, and I'll show you the next step. Okay guys, so I finished this part. I am going to again show you one more time how I close off the ribbon portion of this tutorial. Of this part right here. Again, add your dollop of glue. Fold it over. Push down. Then you add your dollop of glue again, like so. Fold it. Like I said, remember you want to overlap that part. Now with this type of ribbon, you may have to like cut it and then glue it down. And let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, I've got this portion, see how it's lifting right here? It's not wanting to stay down. It's being a real pain today. Any other time I'd be breezing right through this. Anyway, okay, now this portion, like I said, I'm actually gonna glue this down like I did before. Just glued it just like so. I hope you can see that. Then I'm just gonna plop, push it down, and I'll pleat one more time. Because like I said, I want it to overlap on that first one a little bit, so it'll kind of fall all in place. Alright, then I'm going to cut my ribbon. Like that. And you'll see how it's lifted right here. I'll show you how to fix that. Okay. You're going to take your glue, actually, what did I do with my little lighter at? Oh, here it is. I have my lighter. I'm going to light the end of this to keep it from, oh, burned it a little too much. Holy Toledo, Batman. Okay. Well, maybe I won't need to do that. I think I burned it just a hair too much. Okay, I burned it a little too much, but that's okay. It won't show. Glue like inside the pleat here where you tried to pleat. If it does this, then you take your ribbon and you kind of just fold it down. It ain't gonna be perfect. This one by all means is not perfect. It's not my best work, but it'll do. It'll be mostly covered up when I go to do the next step. which, okay, again, I'm going to use the rest of the lace. So I'm going to come back with a part 3, and then we'll close it out on part 3.